We're back in the studio taping some podcasts, and we have
Hello, I'm Bella.
Bella Robertson is with us today. She is my grandchild. I'm not sure. She might know the number.
The number. What number
Where
are
are
you?
you? Do you know?
I
used to
think
have
10.
them numbered. I think she's 10.
She thinks she's number 10.
Or 11, because there's only Avon after me.
And then there's Avon. Yeah, so you're
I'm
number
gonna
11.
say
She's number 11 in my 12 grandkids. I have 2
10.
bonus grands.
With Rowdy.
Oh, yeah, then we added Rowdy. So you're
Yeah.
10. Yeah. You were 10. You are 10. You're hanging
10.
on to that
She's
position.
not 10 as in the age of 10. She's
No.
10 in the lineup. And she's also a trooper because you know what? We invited Bella to come be on the Rockin' It Grand podcast, and we gave her so much information.
So much information. She came running in here like, are y'all going to have questions or anything? I'm like, oh,
No,
we'll
that's not
tell
true.
you.
We did not give
We
her
didn't
a
give
lot
her
of
much.
information.
But we are so happy you've joined us. You have found Rocking It Grand. We are powered by
That's the word.
Christian Parenting Network, and they are so great and make so many things available to all you guys out there. So we are happy to have you with us today as we talk to Bella about all the things going on in her life. And I'm kind of excited, of course, because as any grandmother would be, to just have like captured time.
Yeah, with your
Bella.
granddaughter. That's always fun.
But I want to start with one
We
question.
spent a lot of time together this week, but
We did. I
with
was so missing
moving.
you today because I've actually seen her every day this
Y'all were
week.
hanging in Nashville.
We went on a
Is that
trip.
where y'all were?
Yeah, we went to Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg.
Went on a trip, then we came home, and then Bella moved, so I helped Bella move. And so today I was like, where's Bella? I didn't see her yesterday at all, and it was like weird. So
Now you had a question. You said you were about
I
to
have a
start with,
question.
but are you aware we have not hit the podcast button?
we got to hit the
should do
podcast.
that
We're
first.
just doing
Okay,
YouTube.
so
Here we
I'm
go.
going to do some buttons.
Here we go.
Here
and
we
you're
go.
going to get us started on YouTube.
With the buttons.
I mean on podcast.
I am?
Right.
Okay, I am. Here we go.
Okay.
I don't see the wave. There it is. Okay. Welcome to Rockin' It Grand. This is Chris and Shelly, and we have an exciting and fun conversation for you today with Chris's granddaughter, Bella Robertson.
Hi.
Wait.
Mayo.
Mayo. I
Bella
had the
Mayo.
wrong
I
name wrong.
know.
Let's say that again because
Okay, let's
I
do
don't
it
like
again.
that. I don't like having her name wrong. Let's
Okay.
do it again. I'll fix that. Wait a minute, I thought we heard something outside. I thought somebody was about to knock. Y'all didn't hear that guy talking?
I heard someone
You
talking.
did?
Okay.
Mhm.
All
I'm
right.
deaf, so I don't hear. So, all right, here we go.
Hey folks, welcome back to Rockin' It Grand. I'm Shelly and I'm here with my good friend Chris Howard, and we have Chris's granddaughter in the studio with us, and we're excited about that. Hey Bella, thanks for joining us.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
This is Bella Mayo, I have to say now, as Bella was married last June. So now, how many months in are we? Newlywed?
8, I think.
8
or
months?
That's so
9,
sweet.
maybe.
And she hadn't done anything in these 8 months. She just had a book come out.
This is not true.
Totally remodeled a new little house that they've been moving into this week. I've had so much fun being able to help her a little bit with it, and already thinking about and praying about and working on a second book, right?
Yep, working on it.
All right,
Working
well
on
let's
it?
talk about the first one.
Okay.
Okay, so the first book was called My Greenhouse.
Yes.
And it is a book of poetry, and I should have brought you the poetry I wrote in high school. I think you would have enjoyed it, and I didn't think about it until just now. But let me just be honest, it was nowhere near what your poetry
I'm sure it
was.
was great.
But I had fun with it, and this is what I thought. So I'm going to ask you this and let you speak to it. When I saw that you were releasing this book of poetry, I thought courageous. That's the first thing I thought.
Yes.
Courageous
I did too.
for you to put that out there. How hard was it? Hard for you like that?
Yes, it took a lot of years to finally be like ready to give it out, I guess. I started writing it when I was about 15, and then I finished, and it came out when I was just turned 19. So about 4 years of writing and getting past things to be ready to write the next thing. But it was really tough feeling like my whole heart was out there for anyone to read. But I'm so thankful I did it, because I feel like I get so many messages about girls saying like, thank you so much for writing this. This helped me heal so much from this relationship and all this stuff. And it really makes it easier.
So for our listeners out there who don't know anything about it, we know a little bit about it, of course, but it is about relationships. It was about a relationship that you went through, so you kind of take everybody on that journey with you of a really fun relationship, a great beginning and then when it goes away and then coming out of that. So I can imagine, you haven't told me a whole lot about it, but I can imagine you've gotten a lot of feedback from girls and guys maybe too, huh?
I get messages every day from girls, and it means so much to me. Every single one I get a lot of reviews too on Amazon that just make my day. They're just like girls saying that this book helped them so much. They've never read books before, but this book made them like fall in love with poetry and helped them so much.
And it's not a rhyming poetry, so tell that to tell us how you went about that process.
Can you remember any of it?
As a little girl, you know, we read books and did rhyming kind of things, but this is a free verse type of poetry. So I am going to say this because you're not because you're my granddaughter, but because you're a gifted writer to be able to do that. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
Rhyming isn't easy to do, but then writing just in free verse where it actually makes sense and takes readers on a journey is very hard to do. I'm not sure if I told you that when you were 15, but I should have. I think I probably did. But you have done that. So to me, that's a God giftedness to be able to do that.
I always say there's a lot of things I love to do. I like to paint. I like to do any art form, but writing is the only one that actually comes easy. It's just like comes out of me. That kind of poetry is actually called prose, which means just a stream of consciousness in an aesthetically pleasing way, I guess.
Yeah,
but that's something that just has always come natural to me. Like painting, I've had to practice and still if I don't do it for a while, I'll come back not as great. But writing is something that just like comes very naturally to me. I'll be like laying in bed, it'll be 2 a.m. and I'll just wake up and be like, oh my gosh, where's my phone? Where's the piece of paper? I have to write this down. Just like comes very easy.
So you were the little girl like me up in the tree with a notepad and a pencil, you know, writing all your little thoughts down. So art in your head, now this is challenging, but is there any verse in your head that comes to mind that you could quote right now that would come out of the book?
Yeah, my favorite, or I don't know if I would say my favorite, but the whole book, My Greenhouse, is all structured around this first poem and the last poem. And so the first poem actually says, my garden, absolutely mesmerizing. I come in, I shower you, I water you with light, or I shower you with light and sun in order to grow you to your best you. My greenhouse that never stops growing, I could look at you all day long. And then it ends with this poem that says, the day has come to pack up my greenhouse and move on to the next. The child in me kicking and screaming, the mother in me sad but with a smile, knowing that the time has come to leave. And then it's like, I can't think of it now, but it all wraps up about how this greenhouse is something that you water and you grow and you shower with light in order to grow it. And then one day you have to realize that it's time to pack up this greenhouse and move on to your next one.
So the greenhouse is your metaphor for a relationship, which, you know, even as I read it, it can be taken so many different ways. Every relationship, whether it's a boyfriend relationship or even your children going off to college and things like that, there's so many different ways that you can take that, which is what good poetry is, that you can put it in your life no matter what. And I remember the first time you gave it to me to read, and I honestly took it with some I'm not so sure this is going to be that great.
Trepidation.
Yeah, with a little bit of that. And I was stunned at how good it was and how the words just seemed to flow from page to page. And so just such a great job.
We were on the phone one day and you had given it to Two Mama. And so Two Mama is Chris's grandmother name. So that's what Bella would call her. So you had just given it to Two Mama and we were talking about something and she told me that. So she's not blowing smoke. She was like, Shelly, like really? This is good. I'm a little bit, you know, surprised is maybe not the right word, but you know, I'm really delighted that this is good.
So to all our listeners out there, all our listeners out there, this is a great gift for your teenage or 20-something daughters who are out there. My Greenhouse, it's on Amazon or wherever books are sold. And so, you know, just think about it like that. This is such a great book. Write something in the front of it for her to keep forever and give it to them.
There's a lot of reviews that come through from moms saying they gave this to their daughter and their daughter's friends, and they all loved them so much. And a lot of moms would say like they read it first just to like check through it, and they like found so much in it that they loved too, and then were able to gift it to their daughter as well.
And I think one of the pluses is that those daughters then, it helps them kind of bring their feelings out, you know, be able to learn how to share, because you know, you kind of open that vulnerability, right?
Yeah, there's actually 2 poems in the book titled like My Sweet Reader, and those ones are more focused towards readers, and it's something that like I wanted to add into the book because I kept thinking while I was writing it, like when you read this, I don't want you to like hear I, like when I say I and think of me, I want you to think of you when I say I, and when I say you, I want you to think of the person you love and not me, you know, or who I was with. So that's something that I really wanted to make the book about, because I wanted people to be able to like relate and then have words to their feelings, because I think a lot of times people can't find the words to say, and reading it on paper gives that to them.
Right. Oh, I definitely think that's true. I remember poetry books when I was in high school and college. There was a certain writer who wrote like you write at that time, and it was hugely famous, and everybody got his books because he said the words we all couldn't say, you know, so that's what you've done. I love that.
It's a gift to your reader to be able to do that.
Well,
before we go on, I'm a little bit curious about, you know, as a writer, I write nonfiction. I still write some poetry. I enjoy that, and so I kind of dabble in the different areas. And you mentioned that you may be considering another book, so I'm wondering, would it be poetry? Would it be free verse again?
Poetry again. Yeah. This one I feel like is going to be a little bit tougher to write, because I'm having to kind of pull it out of me more so than I'm going through this. Like I'm literally in these relationships and I have to write, and I'm writing to get it out. So I'm kind of going at it in a different way this time. This time I'm more so like sitting down and making myself write. And I think I found a lot of freedom in that as well, because I sit down and I pull these things out of me that I haven't yet really dealt with, and I think that's been really cool.
Yeah, that's very good.
Do you have a structure for it, like a certain theme that you're trying to address?
I do.
Or is that too many questions this early?
Yeah, that
might be a little too early, because I'm waiting to pitch this book in the next few weeks when I get more written down.
Right. So this is kind of a secret right
very
now.
Good.
We won't give you everything.
We can't wait to know what all that is about. Okay, now I want to talk about just a little bit, because a lot of our listeners have heard a lot from Corey and from Sadie, but not so much from you. When we all got involved in Duck Dynasty, you were the baby. You were 8 years old. 8 years old when this all started. So we were talking about it this last weekend. We were all in Gatlinburg, and I don't know if we were talking to somebody and talking about the fact that Bella really has not known any other life than this, where John, Luke, and Sadie do remember their days before Duck Dynasty, but Bella really doesn't, because she was so young. And I can remember those first early years, even on the set. Bella was just like, she knew everybody on the set. She loved to be the one with the, what do you call it, clacker?
Yeah, I loved that thing.
The clacker to get the
action
to get the scene going. So when you look back now at that time, do you feel like, wow, I was young, or you just feel like this was my life, you know?
It's funny because I don't really think back to that time that much, because it was like such a whirlwind of just like life. It was just, I had to be there. My mom drove me there and made me do it, you know? And so it wasn't like I really remember like much of it, but when I think back to it, I think about like, wow, that really was crazy that I was 8 years old and telling my friends at school I have to go to hair and makeup and like checking out of school to go get my hair and makeup done for a TV show, you know? And so I do think...
So it really was weird.
It really was weird, but at the time I didn't think of it as weird. My mom just drove me there and I just walked in.
You're on low nerves when you're 8. You're just there, you know?
You just do it.
Yeah.
Well, when you think back of the nature of the show, and because Corey and Willie, your mom and dad were there, your siblings were there, your grandmother was there because I was helping with the tutoring. Do you think all that helped bring some normalcy to it?
It was normal to me. Like,
Right.
it was just my family, and like, it was my other grandparents too,
Right.
my aunts and uncles, and we all just hung out, and it really brought us together as a family. We were together all the time. So it was just like family time with cameras rolling, I guess. And
That's great.
my cousins were always there with me, so we all had a good time. And I remember it was, once I got a little bit older, it was more like, oh my gosh, I'm on camera, kind of nervous. But I still don't ever really remember like feeling like this is so crazy, I can't believe I'm doing this, you know, because it was just
It's like normal.
I've been doing it for 5 years, you know.
Well, you know what was not normal? That was when your older sister like just debuted on Dancing with the Stars. You know, this was not normal at all. I want to take us back to that time just
and
a
again,
minute.
at that point, you were
because
only like 10?
I was
so
11.
young.
11?
And the conversation
And
I
12.
want to have, because I just mentioned that I felt like it was super courageous of Bella to put her poetry out there. I mean, that takes a lot, and that it reminded me of a conversation you and I had, and I think we've talked about it maybe on air once before, but I want to hear it from Bella's angle. It was when Sadie was trying to decide if she should. And here's the courageous theme again, because if I'm remembering this correctly, you're the one that said, why wouldn't you? Right? Tell that story. Tell that story.
Yeah, my family likes to say that I'm the very honest one. I'll say whatever's on my mind at any moment. And Sadie was going on about, should I do it? Should I not do it? I don't know. And da-da-da. And I don't even really remember this. Apparently we were in the drive-through for this yogurt place. Yeah. And I was just like, I said something like, why are you so afraid? Like, you're just being fearful. That's all you're being. Like, if you weren't afraid, you would want to do it. And then she was just like,
I think Sadie says that you said, is that the fear talking?
Yeah.
Or is that you talking? And then you said some things about fear.
Yeah. And I just kept saying, like, if you won't do this, you're just afraid.
Yeah.
And she was like, I guess I am. And
the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
But I don't really even remember saying that. I guess that was I was probably, 11 when that happened, because my 12th birthday was actually the day of her first show.
Right.
And so we went to her show, and then after we all went to dinner and celebrated my birthday, and we were in Los Angeles, and Justin Bieber was at the table beside us. It was the best birthday of my life.
Yes, it was pretty amazing for a 12-year-old birthday.
Telling in itself that you don't remember saying it, because I've heard the story. I think I remembered you were on the radio show with me when you were talking about it that day. But that you don't remember saying it is proof itself that it was just innate. It was just, who you are, and
well, one more thing. I know we've got to close pretty soon, but what was an episode that you remember the most? Was there a really super fun one that you remember that we all filmed?
Yes. We filmed one called the Redneck Water Park.
Oh, I
remember that.
And it was like they pulled up a big crane or something and hooked a tire to it. We did a water park in the lake. Water park with a tarp going down to the lake.
Right.
That was probably one of the funnest days.
That was super fun. I don't know, I have this visual image of you walking over. Mama Kay and Papa Phil were sitting in lawn chairs watching, and you walked over and gave them a hug or something. I just remember.
And my mom, that was when my mom and dad did it too with us. My mom was jumping off the crane on the rope swing. It was so fun.
That was a super fun one.
And we were all there.
There were so many fun ones now that I think back, because it was kind of a blur even to me too. But sometimes I'll go back and I'll see it on reruns and I'll watch
another
Do you
one
watch
I think
reruns?
about.
Do you watch them?
I don't. I have not seen it in a long time. But another one I remember, we were at my Peppa Phil's house, and we were doing the mayhaw trees and learning how to make mayhaw jelly, and he was skinning fish and supposed to be teaching us, and I was watching, and I remember we were just sitting there. I was probably 9 or 10. We were sitting there, and I was just playing with my mouth, I guess, and I pulled one of my tooth while we were
on air,
and I was like. And I was like, I lost a tooth. And everyone was like, what? And we were supposed to be filming it. All of a sudden, the whole show turned into now I'm just I pulled a tooth while we were filming. It was so funny.
The show is writing itself right there. Oh, that's so funny. All right, Bella, that's all we're going to take up of you today. But we always ask our guests, although we've forgotten a time or two. because our title is Rocking It Grand, we always ask our guests, what is the one thing taking family and faith off the table that you want to still be rocking when you're like 80 years old? What do you do that you want to still be doing?
Should I do the Jeopardy
Maybe
music?
we should give our guests more time on this.
Oh, she's good.
I want to be. I have a couple things.
Okay, a couple things.
I want to still be taking good care of my skin
Okay.
and using healthy products
Okay.
in my house and on my skin and my
Yeah.
hair and my face, my body.
Okay.
And I want to have a pretty house still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to have good style like too, Mama, too.
Oh, you're so
Oh,
sweet.
that's
Keeping her
sweet.
style
Style
going.
I want to have
Mama.
good style with good skin and take care of my body. And I still want to be healthy and work out.
Very good.
And you know what
I love
hope
that.
you're still doing? Creating.
Yes.
I enjoy watching you create. So
I
thank you for
think you
being with
will.
us today and sharing how
Yeah.
you love to create. We look forward to the other things that are going to come out of your creativity.
Thank you.
That's exactly right.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to us today on our podcast. We can't wait to see you next time. That's it for Rocking It Grand.
Bye.
Oh, I'll just do.